When we think of what we need to eat over a week, it can be overwhelming. There's 21 meals and snacks to add to that. And then you add other variables like an extra special or busy week, after school activities. We live alone and we're eating only for ourselves, and the idea of going into the kitchen, all the dishes, all the cleanup every single time, when a lot of this is a solo activity. All of these can be variables that can really affect our motivation to cook at home, even though cooking at home is one of the best ways to start improving your health. So today I'm going to talk about 4 broad strokes on how to optimize your time in the kitchen. The first one is batch cooking. So really having one day a week where you have the ovens on, have the stoves on, and really cooking in multiple ways, really batch in large amounts that then you'll use throughout the week. So things you can batch cook are things like roasting vegetables, putting your oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit and roasting your favorite vegetables, what's in season. Those are great ways to start. And making about 2 or 3 trays of roasted vegetables. Most vegetables take about 12 to 15 minutes, but again, it'll be oven variable and depending on your vegetable. Also animal proteins, if you eat those, things like chicken, things like turkey breasts. Those are great things to cook, roast. You can put simple salt and pepper and roast it that way, and then you'll have it in your refrigerator to use in different ways. Next one is cooking whole grains stovetop. Those do take longer to cook, so doing that on one of those batch cooking days to use throughout the week. So it could be things like red rice, farro, whole grain pasta. Those are great choices. And to remember that there are many whole grains that are naturally gluten-free. The next one, large quantity soups or chilies or curries that again you can utilize later in the week. You can even store some for a rainy day 3 months from now. And then breakfast options. So things like overnight oats where you can make large amounts either in a big bowl or a giant mason jar or in mason jars individually. And those you can use throughout the week. So grabbing one each morning. Also things like egg bites or mini frittatas made in muffin tins that you can freeze and heat up really easily the morning of, saving you money, and you are choosing the ingredients. The next one is making something like snack power balls or bars that can be used in multiple ways throughout the week and beyond. The second of the 4 pieces is the freezer and canned foods are your friend. Sometimes we feel the sense that if I'm eating healthier, that I have to move away and can only use fresh ingredients. Frozen vegetables are picked at their peak freshness, as are fruits, so you can definitely have those on board, as well as canned foods, especially something like beans. When you do buy canned foods, just be aware if you have the option of buying no salt or low salt, that will be even better. You always want to rinse your canned beans, but if you can't get low salt or no salt, or the price point's a lot higher, just get the regular ones and give it a few extra rinses. And then the third component is plan for lazy or busy days. So sometimes we know ahead of time that Wednesdays, maybe our life is more chaotic, so we need something simple we can heat up. Sometimes unpredictable things happen or people get sick. All these variables, so preparing for that. And the fourth one is being your own sous chef. So all that batch cooking now can be used in different ways, and this is how that plays out. So number 1 is those roasted vegetables. You can use them in so many ways. So that first day you can use them warm as part of your meal, having half your plate being those roasted vegetables, a quarter that whole grain you cook, and a quarter of that animal protein or plant-based protein. The second way is then the next morning. Maybe you could have those roasted vegetables warmed up with a sunny side up egg on top. So now you're eating vegetables for breakfast. And then another meal could be using those mixed with your favorite broth in a blender, and now you have a delicious roasted vegetable soup. Or putting those roasted vegetables in a quesadilla. The next one is your whole grain uses. You can use those whole grains in a soup. You can top salads with it. Again, it could be your quarter plate of any dish that you make throughout the week. The third one, that roasted chicken or turkey, if you used animal protein, those can be used sliced thinly and used in sandwiches, much less processed than deli meats. You can use them shredded in either a chicken or turkey salad, or use those quesadillas for some added protein. You can use it as that quarter plate for any meal. You can mix it with the pasta dish with those whole grain pasta, multiple different uses. Those large batches of that curry or that chili you made, those you can freeze some of them, and make sure you freeze them in number 1, freezer safe containers, and number 2, in sizes of how many people will be eating this in the future. So for example, I have a family of 4. Sometimes I know I'll be eating it for lunch when it's just me. So I will freeze some in family size containers and some in individual containers. Also leaving some in my refrigerator. So knowing that that lazy day that may come up later on, or I know I want chili or curry for another day, those foods will last in the fridge for up to a week. So easy meals that you can heat up. You don't want them all in the freezer, otherwise it'll take too long to heat up. The last one is those breakfast items. So the overnight oats, you can add fresh fruit or frozen fruit to them and you have a whole breakfast. The frittatas, those are available at many stores, but this way you can make them a lot less expensive. And again, you can store them in the freezer, pop them out the night before or the morning of and heat them up for a delicious, delicious breakfast. And the last one is those bars can be used for a breakfast substitute, a snack substitute, or a dessert. So essentially they store in the freezer for a really long time, and it's a great way to kind of in between meals make bars that are made with simple whole ingredients. So again, in summary, the 4 ways to optimize your time in the kitchen are batch cooking, having frozen and canned foods readily available, plan for different moods or time or energy throughout the week, and be your own sous chef. I hope you feel motivated. Mention the show to others who might be interested in this. This could be your doctor. This could be someone in food service who is interested in the health components. This could be a friend that you know is in different parts of their health journey. Until next time, salud and bon appetit.